Hiya, welcome to my Compound Life. I'm your host, Jonathan. It's good to see you. It's the Monday morning, early-ish, almost 9 a.m. It's pretty freezing in the UK Midlands, so I hope all of you are keeping well, keeping warm. Sunny weather this morning, plenty of sun. We might see some blue sky, so that would be a plus. Anyway, let me turn this air condition down a little bit. So welcome to my Compound Life. It's a channel where we build assets, where we build habits to manage our assets, and more importantly, we want to build freedom, right? So hopefully that should be financial freedom for all, and that's what I've been doing. I've been compounding plenty of assets that leads me onto my retirement journey. And I mean, I've recently just kind of retired, so I'm hoping that I'll make it, right? I'm not gonna, suddenly wake up one day and say, man, it's so boring and I just want to get back to work, right? So hopefully I wouldn't be in that situation, but certainly having this YouTube channel keeps me going because I kind of vlog like what I'm doing on a daily basis, right? And it will be an honor if you can drop a like, hit subscribe, become my 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th subscribers where possible. And at the same time, maybe just drop a comment and let me know who you are. That would be really helpful. So I'm gonna do a Bitcoin update because I like Bitcoin. We'll talk about other assets another time, but I'm going to do a Bitcoin update. Before we get ahead, let's quickly talk about Fear and Greed Index. We are currently at around 33. That still means extreme fear. People holding Bitcoin are in extreme fear, right? In comparison to yesterday, we were at 24. So in regards to fear level, I think we definitely dropped down a little bit. But certainly looking at the past 30 days, fear and greed, when that was around 20, we have improved slightly, since we're on 23. I don't know about you, but it does seem people are getting a hang of Bitcoin, maybe hovering around 85,000 to 90,000, right? So in that sense, I think it is what it is. Be prepared for more kind of drops. It does seem that these are just bear market dead cat bounce. I mean, it does seem that way, right? But certainly when you look at the TA technical analysis, it does seem bear market is starting. And although there has been a lot of talks about global liquidity flowing back and so forth, right? But I don't anticipate to have any good more dead cat bounce until much later next year, right? But at the same time, let me quickly look at the Bitcoin ETH ETF inflows and outflows, right? So in terms of Bitcoin ETF, for 1st of December, yesterday, so that was an inflow of 8.5 mil. Okay, so Yesterday we had 8.5 mil inflow. Last Friday we have about 71 million inflow. Thursday market was closed because of the Thanksgiving, but Wednesday it was also a positive inflow. So in regards to the full week of last week, we are actually seeing a lot more inflow versus outflow, right? So the only outflow was on the 24th of November. That was about 151. But in regards to inflow for the whole of last week, it was actually well exceeded that. Yeah, let me check. In regards to inflow, so last week was 24 until 28. 24 until 28. Yeah, so 24th was an outflow for Bitcoin, 151 million. However, for inflow, we had 25th, 26th, 28th, all combined together. It actually evens out the total outflow, right? So I'm kind of hoping that, you know, with whatever we've gone through on Sunday, that eventually things will improve. I think what drove Bitcoin down from about 92, 93,000 to back to about 80-ish, 83,000 on a Monday morning our time, it's essentially due to the Japan carry trades situation, right? So definitely, well, with yesterday's performance, yesterday's inflow, I'm hoping this week plenty of people will see Bitcoin is on sale and carry on with their buying. And more importantly, I think Vanguard Bitcoin ETF will start pretty soon. So as a result, I think that would be a good coverage. Hiya. You charging? I'm going soon, so yeah, maybe you want to swap mine. No, that one doesn't work. Hang on. Let me stop my camera first. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, just being nice to someone because I've just finished charging my car and just gonna hand over to someone else. But anyway, let's come back to Ethereum inflow and outflow. Yesterday it was an outflow of 79 million. However, at the same time, to call out for Ethereum under the past 5 business days, so Friday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, and the following earlier Friday, it was actually all inflows. So Ethereum definitely had more inflow, leading on to some outflow yesterday of 79 million. So I think Ethereum might also be recovering from the whole situation. And let's quickly take a look at Solana. Solana, yesterday it was an outflow of 13.5 million. Okay. I think last Friday it was at 5.3 million inflow. I think it will take some time for Solana ETF to recover too. Okay. What I want to chat about this morning in regards to our, I'm gonna make this official, like I'm just gonna have a daily Bitcoin update, by the way. So I'm gonna make this My Compound Life daily Bitcoin update video moving forward. I was expecting the whole situation to become a lot more worse after the Japanese carry trade unwind. essentially their 10 years bond interest increased tremendously, and as a result, people have to sell off their, asset to make sure that, they don't have the situation to have to pay more for their interest, right? And at the same time, investors in Japan would probably be like, why should I be investing somewhere else when obviously, Japan would now give me, buying Japanese bonds would give me better yield, right? So this is the whole situation in Japan. I was expecting a lot more worse for Bitcoin as well as some other growth assets that I have, that I hold, like my Tesla shares, right? And Bitcoin certainly dipped, but I'm definitely seeing some good recovery. I wouldn't say great recovery that bring us back to about 92 or 93,000, but good enough to carry us through, through the week, right? But overall, in regards to the sentiment for Bitcoin, I am seeing that investors are unwinding, investors are pulling, are moving off Bitcoin in a way, back to cash, back to stablecoin, or essentially pivot into something else like AI. Yes, the Japanese carry trades unwind did lead to immediate sell-off. And this is where I'm kind of seeing that at any big macro incident, black swan, or let's not call it black swan, any small incident would lead to people sell off Bitcoin, right? So I kind of anticipate that there are still investors out there that are in profit, and they are immediately trying to, to get out of the trade to make sure that, they don't hold Bitcoin throughout the bear markets anymore, right? So that's something I'm having that gut feeling. But at the same time, I think overall in whatever happening in Bitcoin, Morgan Stanley shorts, that's what everyone been talking about, especially on social media, but there are no evidence that Morgan Stanley are shorting Bitcoin, right? However, what Morgan Stanley did was in their MSCI report, they're trying to take down MicroStrategy, right? Strategy, the company, by delisting it on major indexes. Okay, so that's bad in a way. Investors that are rather new to Bitcoin, that hasn't been through that many cycles, or that they're just about to plan to dip their toes into buying Bitcoin proxy, they're going to be put off doing this, right? Of course, there are plenty of FUDs for strategy. Saylor came out to address that, so that's good. And of course, there's also the 1st of December rebalance. People try to rebalance their portfolio. So that's why, it does seem it's kind of like an algorithmic sell-off as opposed to an orchestrated TradFi trying to take down Bitcoin type of rumors that are, that are being widely discussed about. So in this video, I essentially just want to, just talk about, with all of these rumors, right? All the YouTubers or social media influencers are trying to do is to bring you that, because they are always Bitcoin bullish, right? And and they're not letting you know the real situation, because when being Bitcoin bullish, right, they would say institutions are trying to take down Bitcoin. Everyone's trying to take down Bitcoin, and you know, this is where how Bitcoin rises. I somehow think, you know, we just simply have to live on the fact that there'll be plenty of such incidents that will affect the Bitcoin price, and at the same time there will be influencers that are always too bullish, or trying to, you know, just be bullish so that more of you guys watch their channel. In that case, this is where we need to be cautious, right? Because the 4-year cycle ended. Usually when cycle ends, right, it doesn't mean Bitcoin will drop down immediately and drop 60-70%, right? It will have a few dead cat bounces. It will gradually drop down. For those that are in good profit, you know, if you have 3x, 4x your investment on Bitcoin, if you are trying to exit, right, I think at every bounce, dead cat bounce opportunity would be, you know, your time to take some money off, right? Of course, I've taken some money off, but I haven't taken much off recently at under 95,000, right? And I'm kind of prepared that in the worst of situation, you know, Bitcoin will continue to drop and not ever return again until the next cycle. And I'm okay with that too, because, you know, I've taken enough profit from it. So just want to cautious all of you to not to be overly bullish, you know, because people are saying that these are manipulation. Once manipulations are over, that's when the rate cut comes in, that's when the retail comes back in, that's the global liquidity flows back, you know. So yeah, please don't be too overly bullish. However, whenever you start to be bullish, it probably means time to take some profits. Okay. I think that's it. That's it. What I want to chat about now on my daily Bitcoin video. It's going to be a short video where I'll just quickly talk a few things about what's going on and what to look out for. Yes, and of course I do look forward for more ETF from Vanguard to include Bitcoin ETF. I think that would be really good, right? Especially when it becomes available, right? When it becomes available, I think many of you need to be aware of this. When it becomes available in the UK, it makes so much sense that, you know, we start to utilize the investment ISA allowance and start to build Bitcoin stack, £20,000 over a period of time, because you want to get in when, you know, when it first starts. This is where you can get the most gain from it, right? And at the same time, I strongly have conviction that Bitcoin will be here for a very long period of time. So yes, do so and put more into Vanguard ISA for Bitcoin ETF when it becomes available. Oh, and another thing that I might want to quickly highlight is I think recently President Donald Trump just signed some executive order launching the Genesis mission. So essentially, that's a major national initiative to harness artificial intelligence, AI, for accelerating scientific discovery and innovation across federal agencies, national laboratories, and private sector's partners, right? So it does seem, US are very, want to win in the AI race, right? Because everyone's trying to win that. And if that's the case, what I'm anticipating will be more money, more liquidity will be flowing into AI, right? So obviously Warren Buffett did the pivot. He started to go strongly into Google. So that's something that maybe we need to consider too, right? So I'm already trying to pivot some of my gains from Bitcoin into buying more Tesla shares, right? I think there will be opportunity for us to get in. Again, there'll always be more dips coming, right? So perhaps that's something we all should consider too, pivoting some of our investment into AI, because there are so much more stronger push now, especially on the TradFi side, for AI. I think it's definitely stealing some liquidity away from Bitcoin as well as crypto. Okay. So if you're still holding crypto, like I'm still holding a small portion of my crypto bag, if we are blessed enough to be given another opportunity due to rate cut, due to Fed's QE and Fed's money printing, and then there's kind of like a small rally for Bitcoin as well as crypto, I would strongly suggest just get the fuck out from crypto and move back into Bitcoin. You'll be much happier holding just Bitcoin, and move into AI whenever there are dips, of course. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. So if you haven't already done so, please drop a like, hit subscribe, become my 12, 13, 14, 15 subscribers. I'll be making more daily Bitcoin update, and keep you all posted, right? So yes, please be my subscriber and leave a comment, drop a comment, on what else you want me to cover, or just drop the comments and let me know who you are for your 12, 13, 14, 15 subscribers. Okay, and that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.